Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Digital Millennium Copyright Act, the DMCA, as it is commonly known here in this chamber, is nearly 20 years old. Now, just as a reminder, 20 years ago, Google was being born. Americans were out dancing the Macarena, and they were holding cell phones that were the size of bricks. That was 20 years ago. Tech companies like YouTube may have changed the way Americans consume music, but our laws have not kept pace to protect the songwriters and the artists who actually create that music. This week, 180 musical artists and songwriters, including Taylor Swift, Paul McCartney, the Black Keys, and the band Chicago and U2, sent a letter to Congress calling for the reform of the 1998 Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Mr. Speaker, I am holding a copy of this letter, and I wish to enter it in the record with my remarks.
Without objection.
Here's the problem. The DMCA's safe harbor provision. What this does, YouTube has created a platform where anyone with a smartphone can access nearly any song ever recorded. Often, this content is infringed, and it does not compensate the artist who create it. The safe harbor provision immunizes YouTube from claims of copyright infringement if it removes the infringing content in a timely fashion after YouTube has been notified by an artist or a record company. With millions of songs on YouTube, it's really impossible. Grammy-winning jazz classical composer Maria Schneider has said the following about the DMCA, and I'm quoting her. The DMCA makes it my responsibility to police the entire Internet on a daily basis. As fast as I take my music down, it reappears again on the same site like an endless whack-a-mole game. This not only threatens the vitality of songwriters, but the economic contributions they make in our communities. Take my home area in Tennessee. A 2012 study shows that in Nashville itself, the music industry is a $5.5 billion asset to the economy. Looking at the entire Middle Tennessee region, it is $9.7 billion. This is a fundamental American principle. If you make something, if you create something, it belongs to you. In no other walk of life do we allow people to steal the work of others and turn a blind eye, except when it comes to songwriters and entertainers. Our friends in the tech industry who do little to nothing to see that the songwriter is protected on their platforms are the first ones to complain if one of their patents is slightly infringed upon. So I ask them, why are their creations deserving of protection, but the creations of others are not? It's unfair, and they know it. But creators are not going to keep taking it. The times they are a-changing, as Bob Dylan would say. That's why, for years, I've sought to protect music creators through legislation like the Fair Play, Fair Pay Act that Representative Nadler and I are working on, and the Songwriters Equity Act. To our friends in the tech industry, I say this: willful blindness or situational ethics aren't okay. Ignorance and denial, not acceptable. And refusing to pay people for their work is unfair, and it really needs to stop. This is about fairness, and it's about honoring the law by enforcing the law. It's that simple. I yield back.
Chair recognizes the gentlelady from Maine.